Hello and welcome to the Conversation Hub of the PrimeStar TV. Today we're sitting with a veteran journalist, Ambassador Yinka Agboola. He is a crew leader and publisher of Parrot Extra Media Network. And this organization published Parrot Extra Glossy Magazine, PMParrot.com. Agboola is also the producer, Parrot Extra Hour on Splash FM. I have a pleasure to have in the house with me, once again, Ambassador Yinka Agboola, who will be navigating among various issues in journalism. Ambassador Agboola, it's nice having you on the Conversation Hub.
Thank you very much for the honor of coming here to interview me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And let me say this, Ambassador Agboola is about to be 60. I hope I'm right.
By the grace of God.
And that is when,
on May 5.
on behalf of PrimeStar TV, we say happy birthday.
Thank you. In advance.
In advance. Ambassador, what pushed you into journalism?
That's a very deep question. You may think superficially that it's a usual question, but to me, it's not usual. You know why it's not usual? It's not usual because it took me about 11 years before I discovered that that is what I was supposed to have started doing.
How?
It's a long story.
Okay.
If you have all the time, I'll just paraphrase.
Yes.
Because
just make it short.
See, like I always tell people, when I'm speaking privately, I'm speaking publicly, I want us as parents to always know that engage in that vocation that you have flair for, that you love to do. I'll still come back to that. Yeah. So it took me about 11 years before I knew. I first went to Lagos, became a cab driver. I had a car I was using as Kabu. I became manager to Segun Adewale. I became manager to Sonny Okosun's Dele Taiwo. I was running an entertainment outfit until I ran into trouble.
You are a taxi driver?
Yes, Kabu driver.
With Lagos?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was my own car.
Okay.
I just entered Lagos and started doing Kabu. I didn't know what to do with my life. Nobody to mentor me, nobody to tell me, you have talent for this, follow that. Grace of God. So if I'm in journalism today, I'm in journalism because it's what I got into journalism briefly before I graduated from school.
Okay.
But I didn't know. I just veered in, veered out.
That cannot be.
Like until I later discovered myself, and since that time there's been no turning back. So I'll just tell you, as we are running this show that we're running together now, people watching us must learn one or two things that if it's too late for them, maybe their children, they can always tell them, engage in that vocation that you have flair for, so that you know that you are a fulfilled person. If they ask for the most fulfilled Nigerian today, I'll be the first person to raise up my hand. You know why? Because I don't have all the money, but I am a fulfilled by the grace of God. I love what I love. Almost no social life. From running the website to printing the magazine to running the radio show and to doing other media jobs. I'm happy doing it. It's like I'm just playing around. And it's
because it's your hobby.
God bless
you. You enjoy doing it. But because before you established your own newspaper or magazine outfit,
okay,
can you, tell us some of the places you have worked?
Okay. When I graduated, have I ever stopped working? When I entered the university, I was working at a company. They call it.
Which university?
The University of Ibadan.
Okay. And what course did you study there?
As a matter of fact, I attempted to become a military man, was in NDA. It's a long story.
See, though we are going to cut it, we will be very, very brief, but I'm still interested. You wanted to become a military. What attracted you to military?
I just love the uniform and the discipline.
Okay, and you think you have the height?
Yeah, it wasn't the height that really disqualified me.
Okay.
It was because my mother, may God continue to rest her soul, didn't want me in that profession at all.
Okay.
That's my belief, because they didn't have any reason not to allow me to. I was there, 36 regular course. Yeah, of course, they would have retired me now. So from there, I went to the University of Ibadan to study archaeology.
Okay.
After that, I didn't know what to do. Nobody to mentor me, to tell me, you have flair for this. And let me just tell you this. I've been keeping diaries since 1976 when I was in primary 6. I have evidence. They are at home as I'm talking. Since 1976, I have diaries of what I've been doing every day till today.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, we ran into trouble we are packaging a book for our anniversary, and some of our radio guests, we could not recollect who they were, and I went to bring my diary. About 6 or 7 places in the past 5 years that we could get the names of the people from my diary. We picked the names
from the primary school.
From my diary in the past 5 years.
Okay, all right, okay.
We were able to fill in the gaps of the names of our guests on our radio show because we want to run a book on them.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So from my diary, thank God I was keeping the diaries.
Okay. Yes, you have not answered that. Can you just tell us some of the... yes.
Okay, when I graduated, I came back to Ibadan from Bauchi. I served in Bauchi. Okay. We had a flourishing company there as a copper. I met some friends who were working with one minister in his home office in Bauchi. I think Abubakar, well, actually do is this, I can't remember, 1990.
That's long.
It's a very long time ago. So now, from there, then one day they just burnt our office. You know, the normal riots
in the north.
They just burnt our office and I had to come back home. So I just got annoyed. I got angry with the whole system. I just picked one car from my father's system and I took the car to Lagos and I started running Kabu business. That one day I just, like Yoruba people say, Ojo come Ajano. Then I met Segun Adewale, the musician. Then I started driving. Then he said, I like you, young man. Come and be picking me every day and I'll be paying you. And I started running. Then later I just said,
how much was he paying you?
I can't remember. It's been a long time.
Okay.
Then he just said, become my manager now. I just took over I write press releases for him. Then gradually, then I met Dayo Olomu. Then we formed the company together. We were promoting Dele Taiwo, Ayuba, Yoboro Yobonsin, Sonny Okosuns, Oliver the Cook. Then Ladi Ayodeji was actually our boss that time. He was the one that had the experience. So the three of us were just there. We were running the company. Sonny Okosun, Dele Taiwo, Epifanio. We had the Silver nightclub that time. They were managing to Silver Shadow. Then in Lagos, Ayuba, I mentioned Sonny Okosun's. About 8 of artists like that were under us. We were really making waves in Lagos. Then suddenly, we were promoting Dele Taiwo. Nobody knew Dele Taiwo. We started from the scratch with him. Bob D, Chief Dele Momodu, Chief Ebashonu Dele Momodu was my teacher in Oscars, Ife. So he was promoting Shina Peters. So along the line, we just passed across. Then later, somehow, we started fighting that our company. Then my 504 that time was a vehicle I used in obtaining a loan to start our company. Okay. So somehow we couldn't fulfill the obligation of returning the money. So this is the 504. Somebody was responsible. I don't want to start adulting. It's been a long time. So I lost the card. So we started abusing each other inside the pages of newspapers. Punch, Tribune. I have the clips. They didn't want now read some of the publications. I said, he summoned me. He just said, my brother, see your activities, you are vibrant. Stop abusing people in the paper. Once you are close with anybody, you've drank, you've eaten, sat together to eat together, anybody that you drank and ate together, you don't go to the public to fight such person. Go and meet him,
and
do
sort
whatever
out
you want
things.
to do, but don't go to the public. So he was like, come, let's. So we started working together for MKO. I was like Dele Momodu's PA.
Okay. When he was the editor.
No. When he already left Classic that time, he was a consultant working with the Chief MKO Agboola that time. As a matter of fact, if you see my friends in Lagos today, they will call me Jeffo, because I think it was Chief MKO Agboola that used to mess me. Jeffo, Chief MKO is Chief, you are Jeffo. When I met Dele Momodu in London about 3 weeks ago, that was the first thing he said. He said, Jeffo! then all my other friends were just looking at us. So that's just the way it is.
Good memory.
And we give God all the glory. So from Lagos, so when I got to Lagos, so after working with, after meeting Dele Momodu, then along the line, you know, we all know it's recorded, he had to run away from Nigeria. Then I started working with Fame magazine.
Okay.
Fame officially.
Okay. You started with Fame magazine.
Yes.
Okay.
So when Dele Momodu ran away, we started Ovation while I was still working with Fame magazine. So when he ran away, I had to take over Ovation. So I started Ovation's office in Lagos for him.
Okay.
On his behalf. Until I was running Ovation International.
As the editor?
As the coordinator, not editor. He was editing his paper from London.
Okay, all right, okay.
So he will send to me, I will collect all the articles, send to him, just coordinate generally the sales, the adverts, the everything. So along the line, I needed to come back to Ibadan for reasons that I would not want to discuss here.
No problem. I understand.
That to do with marital, private, whatever. So I needed to run away from Lagos. You know.
I don't know that.
So I needed to just get out of Lagos. So I came back to Ibadan. As a matter of fact, before I left Lagos, I already got a job at the Sketch.
Okay. Newspaper, the defunct Sketch. Owned by Southwest government, yes.
So governments.
Government, yes.
So Biodun Oduwole was my boss that time. So I got in as assistant editor. Along the line, I spent about 6 months. 3 months. Then there was this political something. I don't think you will still remember. So they just sacked all of us that came from Lagos, including Oga Biodun Oduwole. So Lam Additional had become governor. And he just said, "You this stupid boy. I told you to come and work for me." He said no. Because he said I should come and work for me. I said no. Let me just stay outside and be working as serious clean journalist like that. So I got into his government. I became his deputy chief press secretary. So when he left government, okay. When I left, when he sacked us in Daily Sketch, immediately, the second week I resumed I got another job at the Tribune. Okay. Of course, all my friends were there. But the
former MD.
Everybody were, when they were running Omega magazine, I was there, what do they call it, in Man Friday in Lagos that time. Anytime they needed to run away from Ibadan, they would come to my place in Lagos. So they knew we all worked together. So they thank God that they don't need you there. Come to Tribune. So I returned to Tribune, worked for about 3 or 4 weeks. Then Lam said, no, you must come and work for me. So I left Tribune to become deputy chief press secretary. So when we left government, I returned to
Lam. Okay.
to deputy chief to Alhaji Dr. Lamidi Onolakbo Adesina. So may God continue to rest his soul too. So from Tribune, from after we left government, I returned to Tribune for exactly 11 months. I just resigned. I didn't know what to do, but I had all these crazy ideas. I just told God, Baba, what do you want me to do? Because this, I must add here before I even continue, that this thing we've been running the past 20 years at Parrot Extra Media Network is my own ministry.
That is you're talking about the Parrot
Media Network project.
Publisher of a Parrot titles.
It's a ministry God asked me to come and run. All of us, I must say it here too. It's not until you mount the pulpit,
okay,
that you become a ministry owner.
Okay.
God gave me this ministry and He gave me instructions. Don't use it to fight for yourself.
Okay.
Don't use it to blackmail people. And don't use it for other nefarious activities. I attempted to do one or two of those things, and God showed me. Pulled my ears like this.
I've warned you.
I've warned you. That's your own ministry.
Do it well.
Do it well. That's our secret. That's why we're still here. To the glory of God.
Yeah. You've actually moved to the next question that I actually wanted to ask, which has to do with at what point did you consider, starting your own media establishment? And how has it been faring all this while? You must have faced some hurdles. How did you manage all these things, your challenges?
Thank you very much. I will say it here. Nobody has power. Nobody has ability. It's only God. There's nothing you want to do that does not have this, no matter how minute, this thing of spirituality attached to it. God will continue to tell you. Because there's nobody God does not talk to. All of us. But most of us, we don't listen. And those who listen will continue to argue with God, or you allow it to enter through one ear to come out. What God is telling you will come out through the other, so that we won't have to consider God. God has been our own bedrock. Okay. And when problems come, I'll just look at Baba. You said I should run this ministry. And if we're in trouble and you cannot bail us out, that means you don't want us to do it again. Let me just close shop. I'll give you just one example. There was one day, our office was on here. That time we were at Ajegbe.
Yes.
And you remember? So
one small.
Yes, I just entered the office and I told my guys, that time laptop had not become common. I was the only one that was having laptop. We had tabletop computers. I think we had about 11 or 12.
Desktop and all of that.
Desktop.
Yes, I know.
About 11 or 12. They were just on the tables there. I said, new people, I'm not doing this thing again. I'm tired. I can't come and kill myself. That was the word. I can't come and kill myself. Please, let's just cancel this.
Rest the publications.
So you, Abe, I remember that one. Take two. You are very proficient. You can type. You can start a business center. Go. You, Tokwe.
All your equipment, you are giving it to your staff?
Yes, now. Everybody should just go so that we have peace. So as I finished as I finished that upstairs, I'm saying this so that people will
know
get inspired and learn to believe only in God. Now, after distributing all those things, I just carried my laptop bag, mounted it behind me. I sluggishly just sauntered downstairs to enter my car. As I was about to enter my car, somebody just drove behind me, bam, and blocked me. I said, who's this person? He just came out. Okay, I can mention his name. It doesn't matter. He's now the bishop in charge of Mogul Methodist, whatever. And he's the chairman of your state pilgrims, Christian Pilgrims Welfare, Reverend Dr. David Ademola Moradeyo. He was still a reverend that time. He was not a bishop that time. He just entered, parked behind me and said, where are you rushing to? I'm here to see you. And then opened his boot and brought out money. You will run 4 pages for us. We need to run this advert.
God.
I just collected the money. That time, I think it was about 250,000 naira. That time, I'm talking about 18 years ago.
You that were thinking of
I already made the move, made the proclamation upstairs. This is a true life story.
Yeah.
So I came down, so I collected the money from him and I looked at him and tears started streaming from my eyes. He said, why?
Became emotional.
I became so emotional. He said, why? And I told him the story. He said, no, don't worry. Let's go upstairs. Then he took me upstairs, met the others, and started praying for us. He prayed for us. So that night, as I was sleeping, that spirit just tapped me and woke me up. Mr. Man, you are not the owner of that outfit. So you don't have you have absolutely no reason to shut it down. If you have problems, go to the office, go and be sleeping there and see what I'll do. Never in your life shut down that office again. Never in your life. I started shivering like this on my bed. But a lot of people will see me, they will not know.
Yeah, what you have gone through, what you have passed through.
No, that this thing is a ministry. It's not just that we are running this for
money.
It's not money.
It's a passion.
See, I'll tell you, I will share a lot of things with you today. I'm not saying I'm the most
wisest person.
We all get it wrong from the scratch when we are growing up, or most of us. We're always getting it wrong. And it's because most of the people that are supposed to be men of God, in quotes, well, they are not teaching us what they are supposed to be teaching us.
Okay.
In life, what should be most important to us is to serve God and to serve humanity. And reward is that we'll get is generation of goodwill with God and with human beings, not cash. That's what we are supposed to be after. And I was reading as unserious as Davido, that popular singer is.
Yes.
I'm saying it with all sincerity that he used to be very unserious. Now he's not. I'm now thinking of him as a serious person because he granted one interview about 2 or 3 days ago. We lifted the interview from, I think, from The Nation newspaper. And he made one statement there that when he was growing up, he didn't know, but that the most important thing about life is for you to struggle to make sure that you have peace of mind. That no matter how rich you are, no matter how affluent you are, if you don't have peace of mind, point at where they will bury you because you will soon die. So already, I'm sorry, I'm veering off.
No. I mean, I'm enjoying it. This is real. So, it's inspiring.
So we should all learn to. I'll still go back to it. Engage in that vocation that you love, so that whether there is money or there is no money, you are happy.
Yeah.
You're happy waking up and going to do what you love to do. It's like you're just playing. It's like you are going to your playground. But most of us will just want money, and it's only God that approves money. As influential as you and I are today, we cannot raise 10,000 naira without God's approval.
Yeah, I agree.
Like Yoruba people will say. If there's no divine approval for us. And if God says, before we finish this interview session, we'll share 200,000 British pounds. We will share it. Nobody can question it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So what are we now? Who are we? And see, God has a way of, Father God, glory be unto your name. Every one of us, you already, as they have given birth to you, you have your path that you must follow. And you already measured your brain for you that will allow you to do what you are supposed to do in life. They cannot ask me to come and play the role of Tinubu now. I will fail woefully.
Because it's not your calling.
The brain measurement that God gave me is not the same with President Bola Tinubu. So the other person that attempted to become president, we know what happened to Nigeria now. I'm not as afraid of saying it. If you don't have the brain to lead, don't lead. Just stay in your house. Don't put us in trouble. We know the kind of katakata that is happening in Nigeria today is because somebody that is absolutely incompetent was our leader.
You want to do what God has not called you to do.
Now. But then, no. He fulfilled his own role of making some people rich.
By the detriment of the nation and other people.
All of us, I will say, let me say it in Yoruba. Aberu wa ni bode, ole oni gbe. There's absolutely nothing you do. There is a reward waiting for you. For your next question, let's move on.
How can you say that Parrot Extra is a success today?
I believe it is. Personally, because I'm happy with what I'm doing, one. Then two, if you're talking about success as in terms of gigantic buildings and cars and whatever, we don't have all those, but we are happy doing what we are doing. That is the most important thing to me. And people know us, and they still acknowledge us, and they still give us jobs, and they still, and what we do, I will still proudly say it here, nobody does it in Nigeria. At Parrot Extra Media Network, we use the radio to generate content for our website, pmparrot.com. Then from the website, we now ship the materials into our magazine, then we publish in hard copy. And nobody does this in Nigeria. If you don't know of anybody that does it in Nigeria, let me know. I'll salute the person. Because it's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Parrot Extra is up to how many years now?
20 years. Okay, let me put it this way. We started with PM Parrot Evening Newspaper.
Okay.
I was telling Rabayo Nanuga, the spokesperson for President Bola Tinubu, because that time he told you, actually, you people, you are using PM Parrot, and you are using PM News, because I used to distribute Ovation magazine those days. I used to distribute Ovation magazine using PM News, the news platform at Agidingbi in those days in Lagos. So we all know each other. So, I said, you this boy, you went to Ibadan to start PM News, PM Parrot. So PM News, I said, it's one of those things. So it's like, we're doing what we know how to do best, and we are doing our best to serve God and to serve humanity. I know God will continue to uphold us.
What can you say that you mostly regret? What is something that you've done in the past that you can say that you really regret doing it?
Why I cannot say I regret anything is because it's a path that I've been destined to follow. Because most of the wakas, let me just put it in that way in quotes, that I've done in my life, most of the engagements I've found myself doing, most of them are now coming to become useful.
Now,
working with artists, following artists to parties and all those things. Going to clubs, yes. Night shift in those days. Kenkile, Solumisi, and all those.
Those girls.
Of course. Of course. But then, you still must pass through those things. But we thank God that we didn't get lost while doing all those things. A lot of our friends got missing, they got lost, they lost their lives, they lost their destinies while doing all those things. But my own is, I don't have any regret for doing anything, because if I did it, it was meant to be done. Destined for me to do those things, and I've done them, and I've moved on. Then apart from that, any regret that you start talking about now, you are just disturbing yourself. You have done this
in the past. It is gone. Just for people to learn one thing. They will not make the same mistake.
If you even make a mistake, and it's a mistake genuinely, then it's something that you are meant to do so that you can. Because when you go down, somebody succeeds in getting you stacked now. And you think it's a calamity that has befallen you. No! That person succeeded because God wanted you to exit that place so that you can go to a better place.
That's a good one. Yes.
There's one song, I will send it to you, by Elijah. I can't remember his first name. Ajishebo Shehu. God is not a bad God.
No, he's not. He's not.
If anything bad happens to your own is to just thank him and sit down and start reflecting, then waiting for what comes next. Because God wants to execute another plan for you.
Yeah.
That's why, and anyway, in life, when was the last time you saw, anyway, in this part of the world, 12 hours midnight light, 12 hours, Abi? Is that not the way it is?
Yeah.
But along the line, wherever you are in the world, it's still up and down. Darkness, light, darkness, light. That's the way life is. So if your life is being run on a flat graph, Then that means go to the hospital. Anybody that has flat something like this on the machine there is dead.
Yeah, it's done.
You know, so.
Yeah, thank you. Now, before I move into real question on journalism, you told me on phone that you are about to celebrate the 20th anniversary.
Yes, sir.
Can you just how do you maybe I want to give you the opportunity to what are the programs you have and how do you want to go about it?
Everything I'm doing is just based on divine inspiration. We want to run what we call Parrot Extra Legacy Project, Southwest Legacy Project. Since we started this project, we never pretended to be a national paper. We are just for the southwest of Nigeria. As a matter of fact, it's just for Yoruba people. Call me whatever you want to call me. I don't have any shame. And we, the Yoruba people, are the ones running Nigeria today, as in keeping Nigeria to still be the Nigeria we are talking about. In the north, you can't go there freely to establish business now. If you have your common sense, you will not go there to go and establish anything. I'm not trying to be divisive. Yes,
I understand.
You can't go to the east to go and establish anything now.
The insecurity.
God bless you. It's only the southwest. And who are the people in the southwest? Are we not is it not we, the Yorubas, by the grace of God? So I'm proud to be a Yoruba man, to be an Ibadan man first, and then to be a Yoruba man. But we want to start what we call Southwest Legacy Leadership Discourse that we'll be talking every year about how to really adjust our leadership system so that our society can be saner than this. We can do far better. We can do far better. Of course, we are the best in the country today. We can still do far better. So we'll run a legacy.
Annual.
Yes, but this year's edition will run the lecture will be delivered by the Director General at the Development Agenda for Western Nigeria. Commission, Dr. Sheyi Oyeleye will deliver a lecture. We plan to give all the governors the Southwest awards. Awards not because we want to be like them. It has nothing to do with psychophancy. People who know me, they know that I can never be a sycophant because what I will eat and drink, God alone will provide it. We want to give them awards because we want to encourage them to do more. They can do far better than they are doing now, and they know it. They know it, and I know God will help them. So apart from the lecture and the awards, then we'll launch a book, Parrot Extra Compendium, the special anniversary compendium. Guests on our radio show, we select them, we put them there.
Thank you very much. Can you say that media is still the watchdog in Nigeria?
I don't want to become unnecessarily sentimental.
No, you're not sentimental.
No, I will just tell you straight away that everything has collapsed.
The media has collapsed. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. As a profession, because of the advent of the social media, and it's not even only that. I can tell you, the Oga Patapata at one of Nigeria's major newspapers, I was in a meeting with him, and he gave me one particular example. I'll try as much as possible to hide the details, but you get the sense of what I'm trying to say. They published an exclusive story about somebody who stole money. One of the agencies that is handling the case leaked the story to them. And this was supposed to have been an exclusive story. Oh yeah, boy, come take story. This person. So they went and published exclusively. After publishing, I said the agency had its own agenda. After publishing this, so they wanted to how like Yoruba people will say, so that the person will come out into the open. They know after the publication of the story, the person will come out. The person came out, went to the agency, sorted themselves out. You of course, you know the way they sorted themselves out. They now turned 360-degree, went to his lawyer, his son, and they sued the publishing outfit. They sued them. Of course, they are begging all over the place now.
Wow.
You understand? So how do you want to encourage people to now say they want to publish exclusive stories? And it wasn't as if they lied.
Yeah.
But because the system that we run here,
table around.
So thank God at Parrot Extra Media, what we do exclusively is we interview people. Whatever you say, we transcribe, we give our own slant. So that way you won't say, and we'll have your recording. You won't tell us that you didn't say what you said. So that's because the same thing happened to us about 14 years ago, 13 years ago. That was when we stopped doing exclusive story. So when we say exclusive story now, we carry our face away.
So when it comes to critical journalism, you try to move away. So that's
because the system will kill you.
The system will what?
Kill you.
As a critical journalist
it will
in Nigeria.
Physically, financially, or whatever, whichever way. You understand? Because all the people that you will be proud of presenting in court as your witnesses will run away, or the papers or the whatever they will say you forged the paper, they will say so. Along the line, you just realize that you even don't let's go there. Let's go there. Let's just continue to flange like this.
What advice would you like to give to the younger journalists?
It's the same advice I'll give anybody. If you don't have flair for the job, please go and look for what you have flair for. I have a son. He got A's in everything. He had maths, physics, chemistry. And I said, you are supposed to be a doctor. He said, no. Go and study medicine. You have the brain. He said, no. I'm interested in software engineering. I just left him alone. Because he loves all these gadgets, all these phones, all this. And you just allow him to enjoy his life. The moment you say, I'm saying this for the benefit of our parents watching us, don't force your child to become what he does not want to become. If he says it's fashion that he wants to follow, let him become a fashionista, a fashion designer or whatever. If he wants to become a footballer, let him just go the path. But you must get the basic degree, first degree. After that, he can do whatever he or she wants.
The story you've just told me established that story established that fact that it is very risky to practice journalism in Nigeria.
Because there are no institutions in place to defend you or to make sure to protect you, to ensure your safety, and to even ensure that you even get all the necessary facts. We're always paying lip service to freedom of information.
Yes.
You will run into trouble. And when you run into trouble, you look at your bag, you see that there's nobody there. My own is, I just know that one day, Nigeria will. Let me tell you.
No, I want you to finish that one day.
God will intervene in Nigeria's.
It's that bad.
It's that bad.
So I mean, you are just expressing
There's no time I go to the UK that I don't swear for. Well, I'll just tell you, our leaders. If I say I'm swearing for our leaders, who produce the leaders? In fact, let me make myself clear. What we are talking about, you know, we're already veering out of what we are supposed to be discussing. But let me just drop this.
Talk about that. Yeah.
Let me drop this. On my radio show, I brought in the director of National Orientation Agency, Dr. Kemi Afolayan. I was asking her, I was asking her whether she knew that what she's doing is the most critical job that we need in Nigeria.
Orientation.
Reorientation. All of us, we need our brains, heads.
Reset.
Is colloquial English. And I gave her, and she agreed. But who will empower who empowered Isa Onilu, they are in Abuja. Can Isa Onilu go and meet President Bola Tinubu that, look, let's do it the way we are supposed to do it. We have everything in our statute books here. Do it the way it's supposed to be done. Run it the way it's supposed to be done. Who will face presidency and say, and once we don't get it right from that level, we can't get it right. And the bottom line is, you and I, we are so guilty. It's the same Dr. Olukem, the NOAA National Orientation Agency boss, that was telling that, look, if you are Kemi and Yinka, Ola Yinka, and want to vie for the position of councillorship in Ward 12 in Felele Ibadan, we are going for APC or PDP meeting every day. When I'm going, I'll carry Parrot Extra magazine. I'll be preaching to them just the way I've been preaching. You are people. Nigeria will be better. Let's just behave normally. Let's do the right thing at the right time for the right set of people. They'll be listening to me. Kemi will bring Congo of Gari. He will give everybody Agboola milk kankan every meeting. On the day of election, who will they vote for? Who will they push forward between the two of us? You answer me. Me that I'm giving them magazine and preaching to them, or somebody that is giving them Gari and rice. So that's the way we are running things, and that's the way they will push. Meanwhile, they know that the person that is giving them Gari and rice is not as competent as this other person. They push the person that is giving them Gari. They push her or him forward. That's the way they push him till he becomes local government chairman, he becomes governor, he becomes president. That's the way we produce them. If we don't do something about that, we can't get it right.
What effect has social media has on journalism?
Well, all over social media is a global thing, so it has affected it globally too. But Nigeria's case is peculiar. It's because of the reasons I've just mentioned. But I know that one day positive things will come using the social media in our favor. And I know, I'll still say it here, I've been saying it behind His Excellency President Bola Tinubu, that I believe Yinka Agboola, I believe God will use President Bola Tinubu for we Nigerians. It may take time, but I know, even against his wish, God will use him. Go and mark my words.
What do you think is the attitude of the Nigerian government towards the media?
Because it's still the same system. Are you not getting what I'm saying?
I'm just being specific.
The attitude is just, we are there, and for us to survive there, let's give them, let's give them advice. Let's give them,
so that they won't do what they want to have done.
So that when they see us doing what is not right, they will carry their
close their eyes
away. No, but then
is the media. What
is not done is what is not reported. If we don't report those things today, somebody somewhere will report them tomorrow. Go and note it. There's absolutely nothing you do. You will reap the reward
one day.
And it's being recorded in the heavens. I'm not a pastor, I'm not an imam, but I know I so much believe in God. At times when I remember God, I shiver. God is awesome. Some of the times he will just give us one leader that will deal with everybody. It's another way of telling us, passing one message or the other to us. I mean God. You understand what I'm trying to say? And I know we will get there one day by God's grace.
In the next 10 years, where do you expect Nigerian journalism will be? What do you expect to see in the next 10 years, of Nigerian journalism?
We'll continue to strive to become the best. We'll continue to, I believe some younger radical ones will still come behind us. That God will use to radically transform things. Just mark my words.
Is there any story that you wrote that never made it to the print when you were working with
some of those newspaper houses? Several stories. Now God will see and will look at it. Then my guy used to say something. I don't want to mention it. What are you writing? What are you writing that people have not written before? What about then he will say, there's no story that is too big to be killed. I used to say it too. That when they say, you better carry your person, you want to put me in trouble. Leave them, let them just carry them.
So you're not like your you're not like your bosses, though the bosses that you had there.
Well,
Because you are now
the situation
you
there
are now
was
in the
different.
management. Okay.
I'm now in management and I'm a businessman too.
Okay.
And the Bible even said it, do not see
So
your
that for
you understand what I'm saying? But I'm not saying that I will join them to do evil. I'm always saying is Abosi is the total encapsulation of Abosi is everything you are doing to fellow human being that is making the person cry, that is making God unhappy with you. That is Abosi. Somebody wants to get a job, you go there, you bring the person down, the person loses the opportunity.
You destroy somebody's person
behind
character.
And lie against somebody, you lie against plots, hanky-panky against Nigerians. They are plotting, doing petrol up and down. Everybody is just doing yang. It's Abosi against Nigerians now, and God is there, and God will take up our defense. I know He will do it.
As we are rounding off, I want you to speak to the effect of the online media. And I'm not talking about social media, I'm talking about online media. What can you say about it? Do you see it as positive in Nigeria? What can you say generally?
What I can say generally is still the same system, because I told you when I was talking now, we need reorientation, and almost all phases of our lives is riddled with people, or is full of people with bad intention, people with alabosi people that will they just want to be there to make small. They don't believe in God. It's only God that provides. The first thing we should do is get a job that you love to do. If government can institute some kind of put some kind of institution together that will orientate us towards this, that our children, let them start doing what they love to do. Once you start doing what you love to do, that you are passionate about, the propensity to start stealing, to start conniving against one another, we will forget it. Do I have time to start plotting against fellow publisher or fellow? I don't have time. Because all I'm doing, I have too many things on my head that I want to do. So, do I have time? So if we don't get it right from that level, people will continue to malpractice in the profession will continue to fester.
Can you quantify the malpractice in percentage? Can you quantify it?
Do you want me to tell you a lie? I will not, and I will not anyway. The police, the judiciary, the teaching profession. It's only the medical practice in doctors that I know, and I know I'm one of the few Nigerians that is close enough to doctors. They are the ones that I'll give, that within them, before you can see anyone misbehaving or incompetent people, or greedy people, money mongering doctor, before you can see, it's about ratio of maybe 8 to like 8% of them, or 7.
That
only 8% of them are, or 7% of them are really money hungry or money.
Okay.
Only the medical profession today, but teaching profession that used to be up there before, government politicians have finished them.
What about journalism?
Journalism. So journalism is as worse as police. I will not lie to you. If we want to start telling lies, calling Ajalobo, that's when we'll be mincing words. Police, judiciary, because set of people spoiling Nigeria.
Okay.
Let's just come to that. Let's do it this way. If you want to know how Nigeria can become better, let the journalist do his job the way he's supposed to do it. See something, report it the way it is. The police, let them see the report and say, hey, this person, where is the petition against that person that stole money? They arrest the person. Then they go to the judge. Just say, you stole money. 40 years. But along the line, if journalist sees it, they arrange for him, he carries his face away.
Arrange what?
If he insists and he goes ahead to write the story, and the police arrest the person, they arrange for they settle the police too. And if the police refuse to be settled, they carry the case goes to court, and the judge too. They arrange for the settle the judge too. Along the line, the case will not escape the three in Nigeria. It will not. And if it gets to the court, that's why you see a case being tried in the Nigerian court of law for 10 years, 11 years, 12 years. That's how you will see a governor that fraudulently got to become governor. He will use 3.5 years until they now say you are guilty, get out. Does that make sense? So if journalists can do his job properly, and police can do his job properly, and the judge can do, Nigeria will be because there's no punitive system, there's no deterrent. That's why they continue to do it.
Before I ask the last question, how can people out there support journalists or journalism?
Because
how can they support?
They can support us, but they will not support us because of the same setup I've been talking about, that they see us as part of the rot.
Okay.
And we are.
We are.
I will not lie to you. So that's why I try as much as, that's why I'm not as rich as I'm supposed to be. But I'm contented.
Yeah.
And God knows. Because what do you want in life? Peace of mind is what you should be looking for. I have peace of mind. Oh, hallelujah. I thank God. Let us all change our ways. If we have a better society, we will all enjoy it.
Yeah.
What is our problem?
Sorry. Is there anything that has made you to really shed tears?
In this society?
That hit you so bad. Hit you so badly. Either society or personal.
Well, personally, I lost a son.
How?
2 years ago. 2.5 years ago.
What happened?
He was a 16-year-old boy, vibrant boy. The system killed him because let me just, I lost it and I just looked at it. If he was in another crime, he would not die like this. And he died. Nothing. And we were maybe struggling to ensure that he goes to Canada or something. But then, when I now think about God, that's the way God wanted it that time. And it happened. And I move on. I just said, Father God, I praise your name. I bless your name. But I wept. I just told myself, this sin. We thank God. We thank God.
On the last note, if you had the opportunity to write an headline,
okay,
an headline, you have to cast an
headline to
about Nigeria. What will that headline be?
Nigeria, column, the apple of God's eye on the wrong lane.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate this opportunity. I
sincerely appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for honoring us. I really appreciate it because I've also learned, I did not only enjoy this interview, but I learned a lot of things. And I know that if all of us could think the way you're thinking, if we can know if we can know God, we fear God, and we know that everything in this life is just for a while, I think Nigeria would have been better.
You know, on the last note, let me quickly tell you this.
Okay.
I used to tell my friends, they would look at me, look at my skin. You know, I have peace of mind to the extent that I don't have any enemy. You may think you are my enemy, but I don't have time. I don't have any enemy because, do you know what causes enmity most? If I come to you now to seek for a favor and you refuse to oblige, you know I'll be angry with you. I will never be angry with you. You know why? Because you didn't oblige because God did not send you. I will not go back to God. Baba, Benro did not do this thing for me. What is my problem? What is my offense, Baba? Help me, please. He will just send Semi or somebody to me. You understand? And I'll be happy. And I'll still be happy with you. Some of us will be... I'm pretty happy with the wrong person. We are unhappy with... We'll be cursing. We'll be fighting God. We'll be fighting the person. Instead of us to go back to God, Baba. Then most of the time, you want something, and God knows that thing will lead to your perdition or kill you. God will not give you. You'll be angry with God. Let us learn to always listen to what God is telling us. God is awesome, and He already mapped out our paths. He will never forsake us.
Thank you so much. Our viewers, I believe you must have learned one or two things, and we have come to the end of today's conversation. But let me appeal to you that as you're watching our videos, please subscribe.
And tell them also, to go and buy Parrot Extra.
Yes, I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. Let me appeal to you that you subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can have the opportunity to be watching different kind of very interesting and lively videos that you're going to learn. Beside that, please, we need your feedback. And the only way we can get the feedback is by commenting after you've watched our videos, is by liking our videos, and we'll appreciate it so much. Again, I've just been ordered. I told you he's my boss, and I wouldn't want, he's a very powerful man in Ibadan, so I wouldn't want him to go and report me to Ibadan, and so that they will send me out of this place. Please, this is what he does. He's been doing it for a very long time. And
20 years.
He's been doing it for 20 years. And let me congratulate you for your
Thank you very much.
And so, please, this is Ambassador Agboola, and he does it very well. Until we come to your way again, it is goodbye.